tonight's show is Stranger in the Attic. It's a murder mystery. It has 2 acts. There will be a short 5-minute intermission in between acts, which I will come out and tell you what's going on at Gateway, only because the guys need to take one breath before they come back out and do this all over again, especially Billy Bolster, who is pretty much on stage the whole time, because we like to make him work. So tonight's actors are Billy Bolster playing Brian, Joni Metris playing Dana, Stephen Jean playing Douglas the lawyer, Llewellyn Corkum, Margaret, his wife, Ed Humphreys as Kendrick, and filling in for John Turpin, because John Turpin was our original police detective, but he hurt his knee. So we have Scotty Metris filling in for John Turpin. Like I said, this is a murder mystery. This is a traveling show for Gateway players this year. Gateway put on 6 shows this year, and one of them, we're the 7th show. We travel, and we're raising money for the Gateway to the Future Fund. That's to help us because we lost the arts building because the barn kind of got old. So what we're trying to do is raise money to either buy a new place or find a new home somewhere. Right now we're at Elm Street Church, and we are very thankful for them. They've been very nice and generous. This is our 2nd year being at Elm Street Church, and we really appreciate them. So, without further ado, I give you Stranger in the Attic. Go!
So,
It's not bad.
is that all?
Yeah, what else?
Well, I just spent a month on that. I'd like to know what you think.
Well, it's good. It'll make money.
That's not what I wanted to hear.
I'm sorry. I liked it. It was really, really good.
Really? So what did you like about it?
Oh, well, it'll be a real crowd pleaser.
So you hated it?
No, I didn't hate it.
Yes, you did.
I never said I hated it.
Crowd pleaser is a code word. It means you hated it.
I didn't hate it. It's just that, well, I have a problem with this.
Because it's true?
No, because this woman had a family. How do you think it's going to make them feel?
Well, I can't help that. I'm just telling her story.
No, you're not. You're sensationalizing it.
I don't have to. It does that on its own. When there's a car wreck, why do people slow down to watch?
I don't know, because they're curious?
Because it's a tragedy. That's what they're looking for.
Oh, you're too young to be this cynical. It's not what they're looking for. They're just curious.
Entertained. There's a difference. Most of the bestsellers of great literature are about human misery. Now people want human misery that actually happened.
I hope you're not trying to be profound.
Oh, people want to live in heaven. They don't want to read about it. They want to read about hell.
Oh, sometimes I wonder about you.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I do.
About what?
Why you do it?
My work?
Yeah, why you keep at it?
Because it's what I do.
It's all you do.
If this is something that you
It's
need
become an obsession. Every one of these stories, they're all about violence.
well, that's what's happening out there.
No, not out there, right here. It happened right here. This is about her, isn't it?
Lorraine,
Yeah, this is your way of dealing with it.
don't go there. Lorraine was a long time ago.
Yeah, not long enough.
Look, I'm all over that.
It's never over. Never. This is her house. She's always here, and there's no room for me.
Hello? Is anyone home? Mr. Hollander? I know you can hear me. I have an exclusive story for you.
Who are you?
I need to talk to you.
It's late. Come back tomorrow.
This can't wait. I need to see you now.
I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Ingrate.
What?
I spend my valuable time traipsing around these dark country roads to give you the story of a lifetime, and this is the thanks I get? You're an ingrate.
I can't believe this. Who are you?
Ken. All my friends call me Kendrick.
Well, what's the story?
I can't tell you through the door.
Well, I'm not letting you in.
Oh, stop making such a fuss. If I had wanted to harm you, I would have waited in your bushes. You know, your leaves could use raking.
You'll have to make this brief.
I could use a cup of tea.
Tell me the story.
A gentleman would offer me a seat.
Have a seat.
Thank you. It's a nice place you have here.
Thank you.
Guess you don't have a lot of time for housekeeping, though, eh?
I really don't see what that has to
I
do with
could really use a cup of tea.
Tell me the story.
It's about a murder.
A murder?
A murder.
Really?
It
Go
hasn't happened yet.
It hasn't happened yet?
No. But it will soon.
To whom?
Your new neighbor.
The lawyer? Oh, come on, this is ridiculous.
Have a good night.
Wait a minute. I'd like to hear a little more.
Oh, you'd like to continue the interview?
Well, this really isn't an interview.
Well, then why is a true crime writer asking me questions?
Why does he want to murder him?
Because he's a murderer.
Oh, that's a real good reason.
Have you ever examined how our so-called justice system really works?
Yes, I write true crime.
No. A lawyer walks into a courtroom with his client, a cold-blooded murderer. He knew he was guilty, yet he defended him anyway. Why?
Well, that's just the way that the
No.
system...
He applied all his years of corrupt education on how to twist the truth and manipulate a jury.
That's the way the system works.
Finally, he spews forth enough chicanery to dupe the 8th grade dropouts in the jury box, and the beast goes free.
Well, what's your connection to all this?
Everything.
I'm sorry?
I know the murderer better than the murderee. Is that a word?
No.
Don't give me that look.
What look?
Like I'm some kind of a raving psycho.
Sorry, I didn't mean to upset you in any way.
I could really use a cup of tea.
Why did you come to me?
I knew you would understand me. You and I, we have a lot in common.
We do?
My wife is dead.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Stop that!
What?
I'm not here to talk about me. I'm here to talk about natural law.
So you're sympathizing with
The cellar door.
What?
That's how the killer got in. He climbed in through an open cellar door and came up the stairs into the kitchen. No one ever thinks to lock the cellar door. 17 times, steak knife!
Kendrick,
The beast had murdered before. He was sentenced 170 years. Oh, stupid. Your neighbor? Your neighbor discovered a loophole in the law. A week later, the cellar door.
how is he going to kill him?
I'm going to garrote him with piano wire.
It was your wife.
You pieced it together. Brilliant.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so am I.
But if I know that a murder is going to occur and do nothing about it, that'll make me an accessory before the fact.
Only if you believe the words of a psycho. Think about it.
Should we just go? Are they done? Go. So, why'd you leave New York?
Oh, we didn't. We're only here for a couple of weeks.
Oh, have a seat. Oh, so this is like a vacation?
Well, not for him. He's working on a case.
A case?
He's a lawyer.
Out here? I didn't even know this town had a courtroom.
Oh, it doesn't. Oh, these are fabulous. Are they from the Big Bunny Market?
Yes, they are.
Oh, I thought so. You know, these are my Douglas's favorites. When I buy them, I sprinkle flour all around the kitchen and pretend that I made them.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you feel a draft?
Yeah, it does feel as if someone opened the door. I wonder if he's home. I'll look.
Oh, don't mind me. It's great to be prepared.
Is that a weapon?
It's Douglas's idea. It's Muri hydro acid something. Bad stuff.
Oh, okay.
It leaves scars. So the police would be able to identify whoever attacked me.
Oh.
But you know, I really would rather carry my 9mm, but Douglas won't let me. He says it'll make me a widow.
Well, do you really feel like you need to carry anything? I mean, this is a pretty safe town.
Well, it was until last night.
Oh.
Douglas thinks someone followed him home.
Well, that's scary. Did he call the police?
Oh, no. He doesn't like the police. He'll take care of it himself. But he has a gun.
Would you mind putting that away?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's just really good to be prepared. Here, let me show you. This means there's trouble. Like, there's a stranger in the house.
Oh, that's, clever.
Oh, there.
I'll fix them. I'll fix them later. Don't worry.
Oh, and let me show you something else. These are what we call our finger codes. Now, if I was ever attacked and I wanted to let the police know who it was, but there wasn't enough blood for me to write any details, this is what he wants me to do. I knew the attacker. I didn't know the attacker. Now, if I knew the attacker, what I would do if I couldn't write anything down is I would use my hands to point out his name. So I would use my left hand to point to the part of my body that went with his first initial. Like if his name was Harry, I would point to my head. And I would use my right hand to point to the other part of my body that went with his last name. Now, if I didn't know the attacker, this is what I'll do. White man, black man, over 30, over 5'10", overweight.
Yeah, that's, very clever.
And I wouldn't have to worry about my fingers moving because of rigor mortis.
That's, quite, interesting that you guys...
And then, if there wasn't enough blood around for me to leave any other details, I could smash my nose on the floor.
I've heard quite enough. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Oh, the letter. Let me tell you about the letter. So Douglas was working on a business deal with this creep that he didn't trust. So he wrote a letter. He addressed it to the police. And he gave a copy of it to his brother, and he said if anything suspicious were to happen, he should mail it.
Well, what was in the letter?
Oh, I don't know. I only saw the outside. But there was this big, happy, smiley face on the back of it.
I would want to know what that deal was about.
Yeah, I know. If you don't mind me asking, what happened to your husband's first wife?
Excuse me? I mean, how did you know about that?
Oh, my Douglas, he does a thorough background check of all of our neighbors.
Of course he does. Well, there's really nothing to tell. He came home one day and she was gone. I mean, there was no trace of any foul play or anything. Lorraine just vanished.
Did you ever wonder where he hid the body?
I beg your pardon?
Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't talk that way. I just wonder if you have any doubts?
Well, No, he wasn't even in the country at the time.
Well, that's convenient.
I'm sorry, if you're trying to imply
If
that.
an alibi is so perfect, as in not being in the country, it becomes not so perfect.
Open the door.
I don't like the sound of that. I'm going to call police.
Wait a minute. I think
Margaret!
it's my husband.
Margaret, you are right.
I'm fine.
Well, should I let him in?
Yes, it's okay. It's just my husband.
Let me in.
Ah!
Are you all right?
I'm fine.
Are you sure?
Yes. What's wrong?
You were standing by the window, the blinds.
Oh, it was nothing. I was just over here talking with our neighbor. This is Dana Hollander.
Hi there. How you doing?
No comment.
Oh, I'm sorry if I scared you. We were just talking about our secret codes.
Oh, you were just talking about our secret codes, hmm? Have you ever wondered why we call our secret codes as opposed to, oh, I don't know, just codes?
I'm sorry. I think
It's
she was.
not polite to apologize for someone in their presence.
Oh, I'm sorry about my husband. Oh, sweetie, did you have a bad day?
Yes, I did, and it would be a great help to discuss all the details in front of the neighbors.
So, Margaret tells me you're an attorney
Yes.
and you're out here on a case?
She told you that?
Oh, well, maybe I misunderstood.
It's not true. We're here on vacation.
No, but you told me.
I have another secret code I'd like to teach you.
Oh, I just love your secret codes.
When my right hand is rubbing my stomach like this and my left hand is on my chin like this, it means I'm starving and I'm wondering why my wife isn't home cooking dinner.
Hello?
Oh, this is my husband, Brian. This is Margaret and Douglas.
Douglas,
Yes.
our neighbor.
Yes. So, would anybody like to sit down?
No, thank you. My wife has some important business in the kitchen.
Oh, it was nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Take care.
What is it?
So, that was Douglas Brendan.
Yeah?
What sort of fellow is he?
I don't know. They weren't here that long.
Well, tell me about him.
He's severely paranoid and he carries a gun.
What else?
I don't know. He's a lawyer. What is this?
Sit down. We have to talk. I had a visitor last night. A crazed man who told me that he was going to kill him.
What? Are you serious?
I wouldn't joke about something like this.
Do you believe him?
Well, I'm not sure.
Well, why would he want to kill him?
Because Douglas got a guy out of prison who then killed his wife.
Oh, this is scary. You need to call the police. Wait a minute. Why did they come to you?
He wants me to do a story about it.
He wants you to write a story about him murdering our neighbor?
Yes.
All right, this is insane. Wait a minute. You're not going to do it.
Well, I don't see what difference it makes. If he's going to do it, he's going to do it whether I write about it or not.
But this is crazy. You've got to call the police.
And do what? I don't see where it's going to make a difference. He's just going to tell them it's BS. And then what? Then he'll be pissed at me, and then he'll come after me. Yeah.
Well, we can't just stand by and not do anything.
Tell you what. I'll give him an interview. If I can't talk him out of it, then I'll call the police, okay?
I don't know. I'd rather that we called him now. Whew.
Would you consider yourself a vigilante?
No, that suggests something radical. Perhaps a humble instrument of natural law for meting out justice.
That sounds more like revenge.
Well, that's what justice is, an organized system of revenge. We only call it justice so we can pretend to ourselves we're still civilized.
I don't think it's quite that simple.
Then what is it?
Justice? Making things right.
Like getting even.
No, not that.
Then what?
It's a system of consequences.
Like settling the score.
Whatever you want to call it. It's supposed to be blind.
It is blind and stupid. You can get on a jury with the intellectual prowess of a 5-year-old.
What about this case? Douglas didn't kill your wife, and he didn't know that his client was going to either.
Well, he should have. If you go to a zoo and you open the lion's cage and the lion starts eating people, whose fault is that?
Well, does your natural law theory have an appeals process?
That is so condescending. It's not my natural law, it's the natural law. And if you get it right the first time, you don't need an appeal.
Well, who decides?
My wife is in a coffin. I live a lonely, miserable life. I decide.
Kendrick, I think that maybe you need to talk to somebody.
I am talking to someone.
No, not me. Someone else. Someone who can help you.
I don't need any help. This is all the help I need right here. Middle C, freshly cut from my Baldwin Grand.
Kendrick, would you please put that away?
I'm going to show you something. Look at these fingers. Look at them. These are the fingers of a child prodigy. Musical genius at age 5. My playground was a piano, 6 hours a day. Would you consider that a healthy upbringing for a 5-year-old?
So you were being considered...
Shut up! They have been my curse. My entire childhood was sacrificed to develop these magical little appendages. When I couldn't take it anymore, I outsmarted them. I came up with a scheme. I knew that a requisite for a concert piano player was 10 working fingers. Oh, I've got your attention now, haven't I?
You didn't.
The index finger,
Oh.
I went at it with a knife.
Oh.
Stop that.
What?
Stop looking at me like I'm a psycho.
No, I wasn't doing that.
Shut up. My mother rushed me to the emergency room too late. That was the end of Floppy Finger's piano career. The little organ grinder monkey, all washed up at age 7. And I know what you're thinking. That's why he grew up to be a cold-blooded killer.
No, not at all. What about your father?
Stop playing psychiatrist.
I'm just trying to get to know you better.
Nobody
Unders-
understands me or knows me, especially psychiatrists.
So you are seeing one.
Well, I was, till I beat him to a pulp. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
No, fine, we don't have to. So, supposing you do go through with this, what changes? What gets better?
I'll feel better.
Well, you'd have to go into hiding.
I'm used to that. Besides, it'll be easier when the money from our book comes out.
What book?
Oh, come on. We both know you're not going to waste this story on a magazine article. A guy comes to your door and tells you he's going to murder your neighbor, and then offers up all the details of the deed before they happen. And then you get the opportunity to interview the doomed victim before he becomes a victim?
Well, hold on. You think I'm going to interview him?
How could you resist? It would make the complete story. You have the victim, the executioner, the guilt-ridden reporter who knows it's immoral but just can't help himself anyway. Oh, the police investigation.
Well, wait a minute. What police investigation?
Well, naturally, the police are going to have some questions when a lawyer turns up dead in your living room.
Is that your plan? You think I'm going to let you kill someone in my house?
Well, I didn't expect you to be overly happy with this part.
Look. I'm only going through with this in the hopes I can talk you out of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You have the words of a virtuous man, but the deeds of a rat. Why haven't you turned me into the police? No. Better yet, why haven't you warned Douglas?
I don't know.
Invite him over for an interview.
No, my conscience won't allow it.
Your cowardice won't allow it. You can pretend all you want that your morality is factoring in on this, but it won't fly with me. You and I, we're more alike than you'd like to believe. We are two happy peas in a pod. I know why I'm here. What about you? Are you thinking about the creature who took your wife? Or are you worried about losing a publishing contract? Take a moment, introspect. I'll wait. Self-revelation's a bitch, isn't it? Don't be so hard on yourself. If 12 scatterbrained jurors had found him guilty, you would have called it justice. Evil flourishes when good men like us do nothing.
We're not good men. You're a psychopath bent on revenge, and I'm
Yes, go on.
confused.
Well, what about him? Who is he? A man who knows full well that the fruits of his labors are at our morgues, brimming with our innocence. Surely there must be something in that literary bag of tricks for him.
As deplorable a monster as he is, and as deserving of death, I'm not going to help you kill him.
You won't have to.
Why did you beat up the psychiatrist?
He was getting too close.
And what did you do before becoming a
Oh,
one-man
God.
criminal justice system?
I was a marriage counselor. I don't find the humor in that.
Well, I guess that wouldn't have been my first choice when the tool you use for problem solving is piano wire.
Need I remind you that there are questions to be asked, words to be written, and all kinds of work to be done?
Lawyers to be murdered?
Will you stop if I beg you?
Oh, sorry. I hope your guidance counselor's unemployed.
No, this is intolerable.
Sorry. What happens after the murder?
Well, the original plan was to delegate to you the burial formalities, but now that your collusion seems dubious, I may need to rethink that. Say, do you have a compost pile?
I'm confused. If we're writing a book, why do we have to hide the body?
Well, I'll need time to pack, relocate, exchange money. Pick up a Spanish in 7 days course, of course.
Kendrick, on a serious note, I'd like to confess there's something that's been troubling me.
Okay, I'm listening.
Suppose after you do it, you decide you no longer need the story.
Yes, that's possible.
And then you decide that you don't want to have any witnesses left.
Not out of the question either.
What guarantee do I have that I won't end up on the compost pile?
Spoken like a true coward. And I am so disappointed in you. If we're going to be partners, we need to learn to trust each other.
We're not partners.
Not yet. But you do understand me. You understand loss. You felt it. You go to bed each night wondering where she is, don't you? Sure, you've remarried and you pretend everything's hunky-dory, but those darker thoughts remain, don't they? She's out there in a shallow grave, and the bastard who did her in, he's out there walking around free. You'd like to kill that bastard, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would.
It would feel good, wouldn't it?
Yes.
It's my turn now. I'm going to get one of them. And maybe someday you'll have a turn. Think about what I've said. Think about it.
Oh, some days.
Good morning. I hope you don't mind my arriving uninvited.
No, that's all right. Come on in.
Let's see, it's 9:25. Too early for lunch. Too far from the office for a coffee break. Is it safe to assume you've forgotten something?
Well, yes, I have. You're very good at this.
Well, I guess that's why my job is lawyering and yours is making up stories.
Well, I don't actually make up the story.
I don't have a lot of time to waste, so I will get right to the point. I apologize for last night. I must have really frightened your wife.
Oh, that's okay. I'm sure she's just fine.
Well, I felt terrible about it.
Well, you
Oh,
shouldn't
Brian.
Oh,
I
What?
didn't know you were home.
what's going on here?
This is Hal, the painter I told you about.
You did. When?
Well, maybe I didn't. But anyway, I thought this place needed some updating, and he's here to give us some ideas.
To paint this room? Why? It looks like it's just been painted.
It was.
Not the most decorous choice of colors, but
I beg your pardon.
I hope they weren't your idea.
No, sir.
Did he just call me sir?
Oh, well,
How cute. Hey, listen, I live next door. I might need some work done. Can I trouble you for a business card?
I don't have any with me.
Rule number 1 in owning a business, always have a business card.
Yes, that makes sense.
Is that your blue van parked outside?
Yes.
Why isn't there a sign on it?
I haven't had a chance to do that.
Rule number 2, always have a sign on your van. Otherwise, how is anyone supposed to know if you're a real painter?
Hal, why don't I show you the dining room?
Excuse me. Thank you for the advice.
Think nothing of it. I never hesitate in helping out someone who's trying to make something of themselves.
I don't think this room needs painting, do you?
No, but don't worry, I don't think it will be.
I don't understand.
Perhaps you should have a talk with your wife.
About what?
I don't know you well enough to be discussing your wife's indiscretions.
What indiscretions?
Them?
The painter?
Just a hunch.
You think they're having an affair?
Why else would he pretend he's a painter?
Well, 'cause he is a painter.
He was here to give an estimate, yet he didn't have a pen or paper. He wasn't interested in my business, but the dead giveaway was the toolbox.
Well, what's wrong with the painter having a toolbox?
He was here to give an estimate. He wasn't starting work today. Why carry them around? Because they're a prop to reinforce his disguise in case you ever came home early, like you just did.
Well, they did act a bit strangely.
I'll get the plate number off his van and find out if he's a real painter.
Oh, you can do that? Oh, thanks. I really appreciate it.
Think nothing of it. A man has a right to know if his wife is running around town compromising her personal virtues with the local tradesmen.
Well, I don't believe that my wife would ever do
Nobody
anything.
does. Look, I'm late. No more time to waste.
Douglas.
Yes,
I'd like to talk to you about something rather important.
it'll have to wait. I have no more time today.
But this is very important.
Tomorrow, 9 p.m.
Well, if that's the soonest you can do it,
Where? Where would you like to meet?
Well, I suppose we could meet here.
Works for me.
Douglas.
Yes.
I feel a bit awkward asking you this, but will you be carrying your gun?
I always carry my gun. But tell your wife not to worry. I promise not to shoot the painter.
So, tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, here.
As long as it's important.
Yes.
One more thing. I noticed you've been leaving your outside light on all night. Is everything all right?
Oh, yes, just fine.
Are you sure?
Yes, yes.
Very well. Have a nice day, and don't leave your wife alone with the painter. There was no color chart.
Excuse me?
The painter and your wife were roaming around the house choosing colors without a color chart.
Dana? Dana Douglas has left.
Yes.
And I'd like to help you pick out some colors.
Sure. We thought we'd go with a nice beige for this room.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see.
What now?
The color chart.
The color chart. Hal, do you have the color chart?
I didn't bring it with me.
Oh, well, how are you picking out colors without a color chart?
What I meant was we were thinking about going with a nice cream color for this room.
Oh, I see. I have to get back.
Oh, he knows. Oh, this is a disaster. He knows.
You had no choice. You had to call
Oh,
us.
no, I should have told him. What are you doing? Get away from that window. Get away.
Mrs. Hollander, will you please calm down? There's no way your husband knows I'm with the police.
That's not what I'm worried about. He thinks we're having an affair. I should have told him.
No, that is out of the question.
But he's my husband. I feel like I'm betraying him.
You might be saving him.
From what?
Accessory to murder, for starters.
Why don't you just arrest this Kendrick and get it over with?
On what charge? There's been no crime, there's no evidence, and it's not a crime to be a crackpot.
So, what are you going to do? Wait for the murder to get your evidence?
Look, nobody's gonna murder anybody. He's just a lonely nutcase starving for attention, and he found somebody who's willing to listen.
Huh. And what if he's not? Get your case. Get out of my living room. We'll go to the other room now.
Now it's
I wish I had a nickel for every time I was asked that.
Well, maybe if somebody would answer with more clarity, it would stop being asked.
It's not a sincere question because the answer is obvious. What it is a plea for a confession. And if that's what you want, it'll have to be off the record.
All right? Off the record.
I am, and I will continue to defend murderers even when I know they're guilty. Satisfied?
So, are you saying that you believe that not everybody is how does that affect you?
It doesn't. Why should it?
How does it affect your conscience?
When someone is indicted on, say, a homicide charge, they go up against the entire weight of the state with all of its infinite resources, with one focused goal in mind, a guilty charge. It's not a search for the objective truth, only the truth that leads to a conviction. Given that, what lawyer in his worth of salt can afford a clear conscience?
So, are you implying that some of the convicted in prison are not guilty?
No, of course not. They're all guilty. Don't be ridiculous.
But you implied that some.
No, don't mind me. I've gotten so used to arguing things I don't believe in, sometimes I don't know when to stop.
Oh. I don't know. I don't know when to stop. Would you defend anyone, regardless of how heinous a crime he'd committed?
Without hesitation.
Would you defend a man if he assaulted your wife?
I would.
You would.
Yes. That way they'd let me get close enough to the bastard so I could stick a knife in his ribs.
Douglas, I'd like to get serious, please.
Well, you'll have to start by asking serious questions like the one I have for you.
you're part of the system.
Everyone knows what lawyers do. What makes me special?
I wish I could tell you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, no, nothing.
Are you conducting this interview not knowing what relevance the interview will have?
No, I know. I really
Oh,
do.
don't mind me. I know nothing about the writing business. Oh, by the way, I did check out that painter's license plate number. And guess what? He doesn't own that van.
Oh, then who?
It's owned by a rental company who leased it to the Mountain Springs Police Department.
Oh, no.
Oh, there. It could be worse. Could be a security guard. Are you all right?
Yes, it's nothing.
Can't say I blame you. Imagine a police officer using our tax dollars to roll in the hay with your wife.
Douglas, when you win an acquittal for a violent criminal, how does that affect you?
It doesn't.
Have you ever gotten an acquittal for a murderer and wondered if maybe he might repeat his crime?
No, if that were the concern, anyone convicted of anything should get a life sentence.
Who is it?
It's me, Margaret. Is Douglas in there?
Oh, Mrs. Brendan.
Oh, thank goodness you're here.
How dare you interrupt me in the middle of an interview?
Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm just so frightened.
That's not a good enough reason.
What's wrong, Mrs. Brendan?
If you don't mind, a woman's fears are something her husband should deal with.
Of course.
Now, as briefly as you can, tell me what it is that frightens you.
I kept hearing noises up in the attic, footsteps.
Is that all?
You have to come home now and you have to get them out of there.
That won't be necessary. I have the perfect remedy.
Oh, I knew that you would.
Works every time.
Oh, yes.
A running vacuum cleaner does wonders in drowning out the sounds of strangers in the attic.
I don't
The
think that
living
was-
room would be a nice place to start.
Oh, okay.
Douglas, doesn't it concern you that there might be someone in your attic?
If there was some moron hiding out in our attic, he'd most likely be too harmless to be a threat. So, where were we?
I understand there was a case where you got a convicted murderer off on a technicality. How has that affected you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You never got a convicted murderer off on a technicality?
No, I don't believe so.
Are you sure? Maybe you need just a moment to think about this.
No, wait, just a minute. I defended a multiple personality once, and the DA said he was a serial killer.
Well, was he?
I don't know. Who cares? It's none of my business. He probably was.
Tell me about him.
Well, this guy had two people living in his head, and they hated each other. One of them killed his wife and denied doing it, and the other one knew he was guilty but vowed to kill me for defending him. Try figuring that one out.
Sounds like a real nutcase, huh?
That he was. The natural law killer.
What did you say?
The natural law killer.
Go on.
Well, this roamed around the country, killing people he thought were enemies of society.
What was his name?
Oh, what was it now? Calvin. No, Kieran. No, Kendrick. That's what it was, Kendrick.
Oh no, this is bad. This is really, really bad.
What are you doing?
Douglas, I don't know how to tell you this, but you're in serious danger.
Oh, it goes with the territory.
No, you don't understand. There was this guy. He was crazy. I didn't believe him, and I thought I could talk him out of
Would
it.
you mind not cackling and get to the point?
Douglas, I met with Kendrick.
There's a draft in here.
You feel a draft?
Oh, it's not that bad. We could always sue the builder.
Douglas, you have to leave right now.
All right, we won't sue the builder.
Please, you have to leave now.
But you haven't asked me enough questions
Some
yet.
other time, please.
Tomorrow.
Anything, please just leave.
No need to leave on my account. Remember me?
I most certainly do. What an unpleasant surprise.
I've waited a long time.
This is the natural law killer. What a coincidence.
I warned you not to get me out. I begged you not to get me out.
Friend of yours?
Oh, it's all right, Brian. You can tell him. Tell him about your new friend.
I must be missing something.
Oh, you certainly are.
Oh, I get it. You want to write a story about an attorney together with a serial killer client. Is that it? Well, those were not the terms of our agreement. Therefore, I'm terminating this interview at once.
Oh, he has already had his interview. Now he's going to get his story.
Since I'm not proficient at deciphering the puzzles of a warped criminal mind, I shall leave you to amuse each other.
Does it surprise you that our alleged brilliant attorney is so dense he can't comprehend what is about to happen?
I understand fully how outcasts such as yourself, whose zero personality and deficient intellect has rendered himself unemployable, could easily find time to waste. But for those of us whose lives have relevance...
Oh, will you shut up? Good. Brian, be a dear and tell him what happens next.
Kendrick, please, you've got to stop this.
Stop what?
I'm doing what I do best. I'm meting out justice.
Surely
Please, Kendrick.
you're not foolish enough to try something in front of a reporter.
Oh, don't worry. He knows.
Knows what?
He knows I'm going to kill you. He's my new friend.
What is this, some kind of joke? Be serious.
Do you see anyone laughing?
Brian, you can't let anything happen to me. That would make you an accessory.
Who in their right mind would allow someone to get murdered in their own living room?
Kendrick, please, I can't let you go.
I told you not to interfere.
Please.
What do you want? You want money? I've got money.
Oh, stop begging for your life. It's pathetic.
Please.
Brian, help me, damn you.
Please.
Help
That's
me.
it. Stay out of my way or you're dead too.
No. Ow.
Help me, damn you.
Kendrick! Kendrick, please stop! Kendrick, stop! You can't go through with this! Kendrick! Help me!
All righty. Oh, he's not back there anymore, thank God. A little scary there for a minute. So I'm here to give them a few minutes to go, get a drink, and change their clothes. So I'm going to tell you what else is going on at Gateway for the end of the year. The next thing coming up is Tuesdays with Maury. That is going to be September 13th, 14th, 20, 21, and 22. It's a great show. It's a two-man show, and it's going to be over at where we normally are now, which is at the Elm Street Church, Congregational Church over on Elm Street. And usually they start at 7 o'clock, 7:30, excuse me. I'm always behind the scenes, never in front anymore. There are cruisers going everywhere. As long as they're not coming for me, I'm good. Yep, they're still going. I'll just wait for them to go by. So Tuesdays with Maury's is going to be a great show, and definitely one I would suggest you go see. Coming after that is a children's/adult musical called There's a Monster in My Closet. It's a great show. I know because I'm in it. It's got wonderful music in it, a lot of jazz-type music, and the kids have been working very, very hard on that. And that is going to be October 4th, 5th, and 6th at 7:30. Now, coming up after that will be Agatha Christie's, I can't read. Wait. Thank you. A Murder is Announced. Now, I know the auditions for that are this Sunday and Wednesday, correct? Sunday, Tuesday? Okay. I asked the president back there, and she said Wednesday. Okay. We're going to say Sunday, Wednesday. Otherwise, you can look on our website, and you can find out for sure. But Mary Gahagan, who is sitting right in the second row there, is going to be our director for that one. And that one will be coming up. Nope. What? Oh, Aaron Morin's doing that. I don't know why I thought it was you. Because you do so many. But that will be coming up on November 15th, 16th, and 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Okay, and auditions are Sunday and Tuesday. 6:30, you would think? 6:30. 6:30, Elm Street Church. You don't have to have any experience or anything else. Cold reads are always what we do at auditions, so anybody who's ever interested, ever wanted to be in a show, you're welcome to come out and audition. We just hand you a script and say, here, we want you to read for this person, and you do it. And they call you later and see whether or not you got a part. Okay? So they should be all changed back there now and watered. So we will get on with the show and find out what happens next. Oh, somebody calling me.
The things for sponsors. Okay. So tonight's show is sponsored by the Southbridge Town Hall employees, Cormier Jewelers and Oakhorn Realtors. And in addition, I just wanted to let you guys know that next week is our last concert, and that'll be the Boston Baked Blues. So same time, same place next week. Thank you.
Well done. You should come audition.
Hi, darling. I'm home. What you doing?
I'm destroying evidence.
What?
The less evidence they have against me, the better chance my lawyer will have for a plea bargain.
Brian, what happened?
He did it. He actually did it. The bastard went through it, then he killed him in cold blood.
Oh, Brian.
Oh, I'm in serious trouble now.
Did he strangle him?
Yes, right here.
Here? Here? It happened here in front of you?
I'm sorry.
You were here when it happened?
Oh, yes, well, actually, I was...
did you try to stop it?
Well, of course I tried.
How?
Well, I was yelling at him to stop
That's it!
Well, it happened so fast.
Well, where's the body?
I don't know.
Oh, Brian, you've got to call a lawyer.
It's not that simple. This was premeditated. I could get life.
You didn't actually kill anybody, right? I mean, you just watched.
Is that supposed to be funny?
I didn't mean it that way.
Oh, I could really use you on my side right now.
Brian, tell me, in your heart of hearts, did you or did you not think he was going to go through with this?
Well, I don't want to believe it, but... Oh, you must be so proud of your husband, the man who can write true crime stories from his own living room. Oh, that might be him. You'd better get out of here. I don't want him to know that you know.
Oh, okay. I'm going.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
What do you want?
Hey, nice weather we're having, eh?
Please, just tell me what you want.
Oh, sorry, I borrowed this. I was out raking the leaves, and, well, I did want to return this. I didn't mean to borrow without asking.
You didn't.
Oh, so this axe could use sharpening, though.
Oh, come on.
Oh, don't worry about it. I wiped the smudges off. No one's going to catch us.
I just don't believe you.
Say, you did a fantastic job cleaning up in here. We make a great team.
Would you please just leave?
You want me to leave after all we've been through? Some friend you turned out to be.
We are not friends. Why can't you get that through your thick skull? You're sick. You need help. We're not friends.
You really think so?
Yes.
You think I need help?
Yes.
Maybe I should talk to someone.
Yes.
All right. You've convinced me. I'm going to go straight to the police and tell them what's in the shed.
Wait a minute. Wait, he's in the shed?
By the lawnmower.
Well, you got to get him out of there.
We're partners now. Why do I have to do everything?
We are not partners.
Why did I let you talk me into this?
Look, you got what you wanted. He's dead. Why don't you stop tormenting me?
All right. I'll go. I just need a little traveling money before I do.
How much?
Yes, $300,000 ought to do it.
300,000?
I think that's fair, don't you?
So that's what this was all about. Blackmail. You killed someone in my living room and then tried to make me look like your accomplice?
I didn't have to make it look like you were my accomplice.
And all that about your wife. You made that up.
Never had a wife. I almost did, but some rich, snobby kid stole her from me.
So, you're not the natural law killer.
No, I'm afraid not. I'm just your average, garden variety, regular killer. I'm sorry if I burst your bubble.
What if I call the police right now?
What would you tell them? That you invited your neighbor over and then watched as your friend murdered him and dumped his body in the shed while you scrubbed the place clean? If that got out, that would trigger a downward trend in dinner party invitations everywhere.
Well, if I call, I'll go down, but so will you.
You're willing to take that chance. The remainder of your quality years spent in a cell roughly the size of your walk-in closet. What about Dana? Do you think she's going to wait for you? See, that's where you and we have a lot that's very, very different. You have a lot to lose. I don't.
Oh. Who are you calling?
Hi, yes. Reservations, please.
What are you doing?
They put me on hold. What is it?
What's my motive for killing Douglas?
Why are you trying to leave the country in such a hurry? Hi, yes, thank you. Just confirming my flight to Sao Paulo tomorrow. Hollandander. Brian. Well, thank you. You have a nice day, too. Oh, silly me. I borrowed this credit card yesterday.
You have to be the most sick, depraved, evil human being I've ever met.
Here you are, pulling the splinter out of my eye when your only redeeming quality is a good conscience. or a guilty one. You know, a conscience is supposed to prevent you from perpetrating evil acts, not offer comfort once you've committed one.
What makes you even think that I've got 300,000 just sitting in a bank?
All right, I'm going to help you out. Come here. When they take you to trial, here's a trick all the guys in the joint know. You just blame it on your parents, okay?
Oh. So who's there?
So what do you want to know, huh? You want to know where I stashed him?
Where?
He's in a crate in the shed, and I need you to load it on my van.
You can do that yourself.
Load the crate or I'm leaving without it. You know, sometimes being a cold-blooded, murdering, psychopathic extortionist can be a little freaking exhausting. Maybe I should have gone to medical school. Oh, Brian, I'm going to put some tea on. Would you like some? Oh my God, it's so easy. Okay. Hello?
What kind of a monster are you anyway?
Mrs. Hollander, I can explain.
Yeah, I'm not going to let you get away with this.
No, but I can explain.
Don't move.
There are some things you don't know.
Yeah, I said don't move. He may not have the guts to turn you in, but I do.
No, you're making a big mistake. Just let me explain.
Yeah, well, you can start explaining to the police.
No, wait.
I said don't move. I'm warning you. I know how to use this thing.
Look, I believe you. You can keep that pointed at me. Just give me 5 minutes to explain.
Keep talking.
Douglas Brendan is not dead. This is all a setup.
What?
I'm an insurance investigator, a private investigator that was hired by a insurance company. Mrs. Hollander, there's no easy way for me to tell you this. We believe your husband may have been responsible for the death of his first wife, Lorraine.
You're not serious.
This is hard for me to tell you. He had 7 life insurance policies on her.
But I know him. He could never hurt anybody.
That's what they all say.
Yeah, there was no life insurance. I would have known.
Right now, your husband, he's loading a crate onto a van that he thinks has a body in it. We want to see what he's doing with it.
Oof. He wasn't even in the country at the time.
Sometimes when a alibi is so perfect, like not being in the country at the time, it starts to become not so perfect.
Where is Douglas now?
He's in his own attic hiding.
Oh, no, I think I'd like to see him.
Oh, no, I'm afraid that's not possible. If my boss found out that I told you, he'd fire me right on the spot. Now, can I trust you to keep our little secret?
The policies, the insurance policies. Yeah. How come I've never seen them? There must be some right in here. What was the company you said you worked for?
I don't remember. I'd have to look it up.
You don't remember? They're the ones that hired you.
Yeah, they hired my company. Now, can I trust you?
Well, I'd really like to see Douglas.
I see. You're quite adamant about that, are you? Well, maybe there's a way that I can arrange that you can see him after all.
Well, good. That might make me feel a little bit better.
Oh, jeez.
You know, I may never believe that my husband is a murderer, but I'll give you till tomorrow. If you don't come up with anything solid by then, I'm calling the police.
You did the right thing. It may have even have saved your life. You can lower that gun now.
Go.
Can I go?
Go.
Who is it?
Hal.
Hello.
Has Dana told you about me?
Well, I know that you're not the painter.
No. I'm Detective Nelson with the Mountain Springs Police Department.
Oh.
I apologize for the deception.
What has she told you?
About your meeting with Kendrick.
Oh, he sounds like a real sicko, huh?
Yes and no. Have you had any contact with him since the last meeting?
No.
What about Douglas? Have you met him?
Well, he is our neighbor, and he came over once. I think it was last Tuesday.
I'm okay with that. I was just wondering.
Oh, good.
Was that the last time you saw him?
Yes.
I see. We have a problem.
Really, what is it?
I'm having a hard time finding out Kendrick's identity, and without a last name, it's going to be very difficult.
Well, would you like me to try to find out?
So you do know where he is?
No.
Yes, that would be helpful. Now, Douglas Brendan, on the other hand, we know all about him.
Oh.
He never passed the bar.
So, he's not a lawyer?
No, but he has a long history of run-ins with the law.
Really?
Yeah, fraud, extortion, grand larceny, and on and on and on. But that leads us to another problem. Were you expecting someone?
No.
You'd better answer that. I'm going to go hide in the other room.
Who is it?
Your best friend.
Hello, Kendrick. How are you?
I'm fine. May I come in?
Yes, of course. Have my seat.
I'm not going to stay very long. I assume you have a very busy day with your accountant.
Well, actually, I don't have an accountant.
Oh. So you'll be handling your own monetary requisites?
Yes.
Is everything going smoothly?
Yes.
Are we still on schedule?
Yes.
Is your friend still here?
Yeah. No. There's nobody here.
Hello.
Oh. So you are still here. Oh, this is Hal, and this is Kendrick.
Kendrick,
Yeah, just Kendrick is fine.
I don't believe I've seen you before. Are you from around here?
No. How about yourself?
Just visiting. What about you? Visiting too?
No. I had some personal business to attend to, and Brian here was very nice to help out.
Oh, well, that's nice. What sort of business?
You wouldn't be interested.
Oh. Hello. And this is my wife, Lorraine. I mean, Dana. Dana's my wife, aren't you, dear?
Yes, we've met.
You have?
Yes, while you were helping out in the shed.
Well, now you've got me curious.
Oh, well, no. It was nothing. We were just trying to start the lawn, the leaf blower. Yes, the leaf blower. Yeah.
Any luck?
No.
Well, that's the nice thing about a rake. It always works. Well, I guess I'm all out of frivolous comments, so I'll just be on my way.
You driving?
No,
I have a car. I can offer you a ride.
no, thank you. I don't mind walking. Oh, Brian,
Yes.
I'll drop by tomorrow, okay?
Uh-huh.
What was that all about?
What?
Money. He was asking you about money?
Well, he wanted to borrow some. Yeah.
For what?
I don't know.
You know that you and I are on the same side, right?
Yes.
And that we shouldn't keep anything from each other, right?
Right.
Are you telling me everything now?
Everything that I can. Yes.
Okay. I'll be leaving. You may be digging yourself a hole that you can't get out of. Call me if you want my help.
Well, that went well.
Brian, there's more to this than you think.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
No, I have something important that I need to tell you.
Like what?
Now what?
Who is it?
It's me, Margaret. Can I come in?
Mrs. Brendan, please come in, have a seat. What's wrong?
Oh, I don't. Douglas didn't come home last night.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Do you have any idea where he might be?
No, sorry.
But he was here with you. When did he leave? What time?
Around 9-ish. Yes.
And he didn't say where he was going?
No, sorry.
Oh, sometimes that man makes me so mad I could just strangle him.
Oh. Well, maybe, did you ever think of calling someone that he might have gone to visit?
I did. I called his brother and he doesn't know where he is. Now he's all upset. I don't know. Maybe I should just go home and sit by the phone and see if he calls?
Well, yeah, you do that, and call us if you need
Oh,
anything,
okay.
anything at all.
Thank you.
Why didn't you tell me that you met Kendrick?
Okay, this isn't going to be easy. Brian, was there life insurance on Lorraine?
No, of course not. Why would I need that?
Good. I knew it. Douglas and Kendrick know each other.
I know that.
You do?
Well, Hal told me. What did Kendrick tell you?
He told me that he was a private investigator hired by some insurance company to investigate you because they think you killed Lorraine for the 7 insurance policies you had out on her.
Well, don't you know that's just total bull and silly?
I know.
Because, do you know how easy it would be to disprove?
Yes, I know. I Googled it.
Really?
Yes.
Well, they're a couple of con artists, those two. Douglas is probably alive and well and hiding out in his own attic. Their plan was to pretend to murder Douglas in our house and then blackmail me.
And you were going to pay?
Well, I came this close. Here's the money. But now that I know, they're not getting a red cent.
That's a lot of money.
I know.
Well, I had no idea you had access to this kind of money.
Well, maybe it came from those 7 life insurance policies you think I have.
Brian, where did you get that money? Brian, where did you get that money?
Come in, it's unlocked.
Good afternoon.
Excuse me, I'll be just a minute. Perfect. Oh, excuse me. Have a seat. Can I get you a cup of tea, Kendrick?
No, thank you.
It's a beautiful day out there, isn't it?
Yes.
I'd go so far as to say it's the most beautiful day we've had all week.
Yes. What are you working on over here?
Our story, of course.
Huh. I'm just curious. Did you get a chance to visit the bank?
Oh, shucks, I totally forgot. I was having so much fun writing our story that I totally forgot to go to the bank.
I can't stomach any more of this juvenile display of contrived apathy. She told you, didn't she?
She told me a lot.
I knew you were this too cowardly to be this nonchalant. She told you I was the insurance man, and now you're wondering if the rumors of Douglas's demise have been greatly exaggerated.
Maybe just a little bit.
What did you expect? She had a gun pointed at me,
Oh, let me guess. At your groin?
while the other hand was on the phone calling the police. If ever there was a reason for some creative storytelling, I had to do something.
Don't even go there. I know the story.
Oh, interesting. This must be the new Brian. Arrogant, ill-mannered, cocky. I don't like the new Brian.
Just another bump in your road.
I miss the old Brian. Cowardly, puny little twit, trembling in his own boots. The broken little man, unable to accept his own debunked morality. That's the Brian I like.
Well, sometimes the cake is just not worth that candle, is it?
The new Brian. The new Brian is so brave because he doesn't believe that Douglas Brendan is dead.
Well, why were you in such a hurry to hide the body?
Oh, I don't know. I am trying to get away with this after all, you know.
Well, if you don't get your blackmail money, what will you have gotten away with?
Oh, you raise a good point. Perhaps I have underestimated you after all.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I suppose my only alternative will be to show you the body. It will take a lot of digging, but it will be worth it to see that smug look wiped off your freaking face.
Oh, really? Who is it?
It's that freaking cop. I'll see myself out the back. It's you he wants to see.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hollander. May I come in?
Yes, come on in.
Are you alone?
Yes.
We have a problem.
Oh, really? What is it?
Douglas's wife just reported him missing.
Oh, that's terrible. I'm sorry to hear that.
When was the last time you saw him?
Like I said, I think it was that one time he came to visit last Tuesday.
Uh-huh. Now we have a big problem.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Douglas's wife said he was here in this house the night that he went missing.
Well, he was supposed to come. Yeah, he was supposed to come, but he never showed up.
That's not what Mrs. Brendan said.
Well, she must be confused.
Why was he supposed to be here?
For an interview.
About what?
I'm gathering data on criminal lawyers.
For a book?
Yes.
What's the book about?
Well, I'm still kind of like pulling it all together, and I haven't quite got the gist of the
I know
plot
what the
line.
book is about.
You do?
Yeah. Dana told me.
Oh.
Mr. Hollander, we are dealing with a potential homicide. It would be in your best interest to start telling me the truth.
Yes. Of course.
Where is Douglas Brendan?
Oh, I don't know.
Yes, you do. Where is he?
No, really, I don't know.
He was supposed to be here for the interview, wasn't he?
Yes.
Why did you lie about that?
Well, I didn't want to be the last person to see him alive.
Oh, so you knew that something was going to happen to him.
Well, no, I didn't.
You just said you didn't want to be the last person to see him alive.
Uh,
You think he's dead.
no, I really don't. No.
We don't know that he's dead. At least I don't.
Oh.
How long did the interview last?
It was, less than an hour.
Did you take any notes?
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. I
No.
want to see him.
No, really, I didn't take any.
Was anybody else at the interview?
No.
What about Mrs. Brendan?
Oh, yes, she did stop by.
Yeah, I know. She told me.
Oh, well, I forgot about her.
Yeah, when she mentioned that somebody was up in her attic, that didn't set off any alarm bells?
Well, Douglas didn't seem to think so.
He said that?
Yes.
Actually, somebody was in the attic.
Kendrick?
What makes you think that?
Oh, well, who else would it have been?
It must be clear in your mind that Kendrick wanted to kill Douglas.
No,
Why would he be hiding out in his attic?
I don't know.
Other than Margaret, was anybody else at the interview?
No.
Where is Dana?
At her sister's yesterday.
Did she spend the night?
Yes.
When was the last time she spent the night away from the house without you?
I don't remember.
What time did Douglas arrive for the interview?
It was about, 8:45.
What time did he leave?
About 9.
Mustn't have had much to talk about. He was only here 15 minutes.
Well, something came up. He had to leave early.
Oh, I see. Did he get a phone call?
No.
Did a beeper go off?
No.
Then how did he know that he had to go?
I guess something just suddenly came up and he had to leave.
Oh, that's possible. His car is still in the garage.
Yes.
Wait, you knew his car was still in the garage?
No.
Sounded like you were just agreeing with me.
I was just politely affirming.
When he left, did you walk him to the door?
Yes.
Did you hear a car pull up?
No.
Moped engine start?
No.
Horse galloping?
No.
Helicopter landing?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Then how did he leave?
I'm telling you, I don't know.
Do you know what accessory to murder is?
Oh. Oh.
Hint. Oh. Oh boy. Who is it?
It's me, Margaret.
Oh. Come in.
I'm sorry to bother you so late. I just couldn't sleep. I kept hearing noises in the attic.
Well, that's really scary. Maybe you should go up and check them out.
Oh no, I'm too frightened to do that by myself.
Oh, maybe I could go with you.
No, I don't think so. Is your husband home?
I don't know. I just got here myself, so I don't know.
Oh, well, the police were over and they said that he might know something about Douglas's disappearance.
Yeah, well, they came here and questioned him too. I'm sure Brian told him everything he knows.
Oh, I don't mean it that way. I'm just so desperate. I don't know what else to do.
Mrs. Brendan, how well do you know your husband?
My husband?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've been married for about a year.
Uh-huh.
So not very well. But he wouldn't take off like this. Trust me.
Hmm.
What is this?
I don't know. It was here when I came in.
You know, that sheet looks awfully familiar. I think I have one just like it at my house.
Yes, yes. Why don't we come sit down?
I don't know. I don't like this. I don't know. It makes me feel uncomfortable. It's like, it's cold.
Yeah.
That sounds crazy, doesn't it?
Excuse me one moment.
What is it?
I don't know. Hold on 1 minute to open it. My goodness, who folded this thing?
What's the
Mrs. Brendan,
matter? What's the
nothing,
matter?
nothing. I need to walk you home now.
Are you sure?
Yes, yes, this is just very important.
Oh,
Go right ahead.
okay.
Yes.
We could have had a nice life here. A garden in the backyard, an out-of-tune piano in the corner. But that wasn't to be.
What are you doing here?
I apologize for entering your home without permission.
No harm done. Actually, I was looking forward to seeing you.
Really?
Yes. I wanted to congratulate you on your perseverance.
That means a lot to me, especially coming from you.
What can I say? You're quite a resourceful guy.
Well, I did manage to commit a perfect murder in your living room right under the nose of a detective.
And it was brilliant. Too bad it didn't accomplish anything.
It almost did.
But it didn't. It didn't because you screwed up. You and your two-bit, profoundly wicked cohort, Douglas, who's undoubtedly hiding out in his own attic right now, screwed up. The two grandmasters of con artistry who think they know how to outwit any... Yes, Kendrick?
Oh, sorry for interrupting. I just wanted to call to your attention the possibility that you may have overlooked something.
Oh, really? You know, Douglas. Do you also know that he carries a gun?
I wasn't aware of that.
Oh, yes, everywhere he goes, and he's quick to draw it, too.
Ooh.
He even pulled it out when there was a knock at the door.
Well, that sounds like the cautious type.
Now, not 5 minutes later, you walk in, a man he knows to be a murderer. You tell him you're going to strangle him, casually walk toward him, and what does he do? Allows himself to get strangled. Interesting.
I confess. Congratulations. Perhaps I have underestimated you after all. You did it. We're a couple of con artists. The murder was staged, and he hid in his attic. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Although, and this is the possibility you seem to have overlooked, what if the original plan had to be amended because it hit a snag?
Go on.
Well, everything went as you said. Couple of con men, fake murder, you go to the bank, he goes into hiding. Should end right there.
Go on.
But no, you started to have doubts. You didn't believe the good lawyer was really dead. Well, Brian, what's a self-respecting, cold-blooded, psychopathic extortionist to do.
Go on.
I paid a little unexpected visit to the hideout last night. You look concerned. I did. Oh, don't worry. He didn't suffer. Well, maybe a little.
So you killed him. So where's the body?
I thought you might ask that.
What's that? What is this?
Oh, isn't there a shipping label on it?
Oh, no. It can't be. No.
I think the old Brian's back. I think the old cowardly Brian is back. The morally bankrupt pipsqueak who sold his soul for a Pulitzer Prize. That's the Brian I like.
Hendrik, please. Please.
Listen, I am leaving town tonight. But before I go, I have a proposal for you. I am going to dial a 9 and a 1. And what I do next is up to you. You have two choices. The first choice is to pay me the money, and then I will leave town, and I will never come back. I will be out of your life forever. Your second choice, and I warn you, if you choose this choice, I have options. The second choice is to open the crate. But if you choose that, I will have no other alternative but to press 1, thereby completing my call to the police. When they answer, I will tell them that a murder has been committed right here. I don't think you would get 3 nails out before this entire place was surrounded by police. It's your move. Oh, I think the old Brian is back. My old friend, good old Brian. That's the Brian I love.
Why? Why me? Why have you taken to hating me so intensely? What have I done to cause your pleasure in my misery? Well, it has to be more than money. What is it? Tell me.
You ask good questions. You're right. I do hate you. I despise you. I abhor you to your very core. And the reason for that is in this very room, right under your nose.
Dana!
Go ahead, Brian. Open the crate. Go ahead. Come on.
No, I can't.
Oh, sure you can. Here. Open the crate.
No, Dana, I can't.
All right. Then I will.
Put the bar down or I'm calling the police.
Go right ahead. Call them. What are you waiting for? You blew it, Kenny.
What are you talking about, Dana?
Something you never could have planned for.
Dana?
Hey, would you let her speak?
It was a brilliant con, you know, and you almost got away with it. But despite your elaborate conniving, you missed something you never could have seen coming. Douglas Brendan's paranoia. You see, he had an obsession with getting even, so he devised a scheme to avenge himself posthumously. It was the letters. Yeah, he wrote a bunch of them and gave them to his brother with the instruction that he was to send them out if ever he died under suspicious circumstances.
Well, what's in the letter?
Well, this one here was addressed to Brian, and it's more or less an apology. But it also tells about another letter that he sent to the FBI
Jesus.
with a full confession and a complete detail of your criminal history. So I guess it doesn't really matter if Douglas Brendan's in the crate now, does it?
Under these unpleasant and unexpected circumstances, well, I suppose I have a third choice, which is to leave with great haste. I trust you'll look after my belongings and treat them with dignity. Brian, earlier, you asked me a question to which I replied the answer was in this very room. Perhaps you should check the high school yearbook.
Yeah, he just left. Yes, he was here. He's gone now. Okay.
Where are you going?
I want to go talk to Mrs. Brendan before the police get there.
Did you get the letter? The letter, did you get the letter?
Douglas, you're supposed to
Tell
be...
me!
Well, yes, it just came.
Shit! I've got to stop him.
Douglas, you're alive.
Answer. Answer.
What
Answer,
are you...
Shit!
What are you doing?
Shit! 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 I'm ruined! That idiot ruined me!
Well, Douglas, you're alive.
Of course I'm alive, dipshit!
Oh, I can't tell you how happy I am to hear that.
I can't tell you how happy I am to hear that.
But this is wonderful.
Would you mind not cackling? It's getting on my nerves. This was supposed to be a simple, moron-proof plan. Why did he have to complicate it?
This wasn't a simple plan. It was a long shot. You would have had to go into hiding for years.
What for? What would you have done? What would you call the police? What would you have told them? No, officer, they cheated me. The lawyer didn't stay dead. Now they won't give me my hush money back.
Oh, well, why did you pick me?
I didn't. Kenny did. He knows you. From years ago, you did something to him he's never forgiven you for. I think it was a girl.
Who?
I don't know. Is that a yearbook you're paging through? You're getting warm. You'll figure it out. What the hell is this?
Well, I don't know. That's part of your plan.
What a warped sense of humor. If I were you, I'd get rid of it. There probably is a lawyer in there. Oh, here they come. Right on time. You know what's going to bother me most? The look on my wife's face when she finds out I'm not really a lawyer.
Douglas, don't you have something that you'd like to say to me?
Like what? You're expecting an apology? I'm about to get arrested and thrown in jail. My wife's probably going to leave me. Isn't that good enough for you? You weren't exactly an angel yourself. Didn't you invite me over here knowing I'd be corroded by Middle C? Kenny, you, me, we're a lot alike. We all have this little devil living inside of us that we can't quite control. He's batshit crazy. That's his excuse. I needed the money. What's yours?
Police, open up! Well, 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 what do we have here? The fake missing lawyer, Douglas Brendan.
Must you gloat like that?
Rule number 1 in running a successful criminal enterprise, don't send a signed confession to the FBI.
Let's just get this over with.
All right. Here.
Put that away. I know my rights.
Hey, you know something? We just made police history. This is the first time we ever got a signed confession before actually arresting the suspect.
Hey, Hal, you there? Hal,
Yeah?
get a load of this. Kenny's van is still here, parked in front of Brendan's house.
No kidding. Nice work. He mustn't have gotten far. Send the dogs. The ones that bite.
10-4.
Can you believe it? That guy had a chance to escape and he didn't take it.
Not exactly. It just wouldn't be fair. Imagine letting that idiot roam around free, making fortunes off of saps like him, while I languish behind prison walls.
Yeah, it's a clear violation of natural law. Come on, Mr. Brendan. Mr. Hollander, I'm afraid we owe you an apology.
An apology? For what? He invited me over here to be garroted by Middle C. He ought to be coming with us.
Come on, Mr. Brendan, get moving.
That's conspiracy to commit murder. You've got a good case.
My fantasy for Lorraine. There once was a man who loved a woman, and so they married and lived in a house with a garden in the backyard and an out-of-tune piano that was only played at birthday parties. And this would be forever. Love always. Kenny.